Very warm welcome to the eRacing Grand Prix. It's the Global Edition Season 6. It's round 4 of number 5. I'm Des Corkill alongside the architect of this series, Alex Young. We are racing on Race Room around the Martigues circuit, and the gold class is being dominated, Alex, this season by a young fella called Naquib Azlan, who happens to be the defending champion.
That's right, he is the defending champion and he's winning the gold class. Silver class, Eun Cheng, he's winning that championship. Axel Knott comes winning bronze as well. And Nabil Azlan is leading the copper. Of course, we're at round 4 of 5. But yeah, it's getting pretty exciting with the gold coming up.
In eRacing GP, what Alex has done is we've got 4 categories. We've just shown you the championship leaders. Our focus on this broadcast is very much on the gold edition. Just to give you a little taster, let's have a look at the action from last weekend's 2 races that took place at Watkins Glen. Josh Perwin in P3, Jin Masvilton again quick in P4, Mohammed Tasby. We never seem to mention Mohammed Tasby as a genuine contender, and Tasby drops down behind Nabil Azlan. The lead though at the front as Naquib is overtaken by Inigo Anton, and the Filipinos got off to a terrific start, as has Josh Perwin, and then Perwin crashes out.
Oh, then is that really him crashing, or is that actually, no, it is. Perwin has been sent right to the back of the field, and I think bigger mayhem has ensued in the back because we lost a bit half the field there.
Russell Reyes, who had a terrific round 1, he's there in P4. He's not let Ottaviani get away from him, and Reyes, having 0 points in round 2, needs a good performance in round 3, Ammo.
Yeah, because I think he was absent last time out, so he can drop that round completely. He's going to have to look forward to the rest of the season not dropping any points to stand any chance of actually competing for the title. It's
a good season no matter what for Inigo Anton, but good seasons tend not to be good enough against Naquib Azlan, because this guy is seriously talented.
We can say that again. That's just shows the quality that he's got. Ever since he managed to break the duck at last season, he's just been on it. He really wants to get 2 championships in a row here. And Fruit Ali, yep, you're not the only one who can win consecutive championships. And he goes onto the inside. Anton makes a mistake on the curb there. They go side by side, coming to the chute. And Naquib takes the lead. Inigo made a slight mistake there. He pounced on it.
Ottaviani's still holding on to P3, or is he? Ottaviani! Was Reyes made a move, and then Reyes spins out, and Reyes loses a place to Nabil Azlan. Now Nabil, is he good enough, do you reckon, to get past Ottaviani? Because he has closed up very, very closely. He was in 0.1 of a second very short while ago.
Nope, not close enough. Unless Ottaviani makes a mistake in the final 2 corners, it's not going to be enough. It's going to be 4 for him, as Naquib, I think, is going to cross the line.
Naquib Azlan takes the victory ahead of Inigo Anton. Ottaviani holds off Nabil for P3. Russell Reyes comes through in a decent P5 ahead of Ayman Hazik. Faustino is on pole. Perwin is alongside him. 2 grey coloured cars. Perwin, you look at his eyes, there's a steely determination, and they are underway. Ammo Hazik alongside us. Behind them, Carnage Ammo.
Oh, and who is that wanked the berries? It's Paris again. Oh my word. How many races has he done that has walked the start and spun into the wall? That's the second time in 2 races. The last time I was in Brno. But anyhow, Perwin gets the start of Dreams. Then Wilton tucks in second. And the rest of the field now, the ones that survived that start-finish line kerfuffle, are streaming through the S's.
Look at this scrap going on here. Nur Shazlizan, Nabil, Inigo and Naquib. There's Shazlizan in the yellow. The double pink of Nabil and Inigo Anton with Naquib just lurking on the corner. Alex Young was very complimentary to the way that Naquib was taking this, as Nur Shazlizan makes a mistake and Nabil Azlan goes into P3.
Yep, that was a slight mistake on the throttle there. He wanted to get on the power early, but too much power on the rear end, and the V8 just tosses you out. And now Nabil has a clear run to P3. Naquib has to work on the back of Inigo Anton again. These two seem to be inseparable this round.
There is Naquib. He's got Anton just on the inside. Has he got the acceleration to get the better of Inigo? The answer is yes. Naquib squeezes through Inigo Anton. Inigo will have Naquib in his nightmares as he tries to come through on the inside once again. What does Inigo Anton have to do to get the better of Naquib Azlan? Naquib Azlan, meantime, in P5. Inigo Anton trying to prove your predictions spot on. Inigo is really battling back on Naquib, and they have got to get the better of Nurshaz Lizan. Naquib looks on the inside. Nurshaz Lizan forced a little bit wide, and Naquib and Inigo both go through on the inside. So Naquib takes P4. Inigo hasn't quite been able to squeeze Nurshaz Lizan out. Maybe he will this time. Nurshaz Lizan tries defends. Great stuff from Inigo Anton into P5. Just follows Naquib.
But somehow then, despite following another car, Otiveri manages to keep it together. Oh! Speaking of, I was about to say he was going to keep it together. He's lost it coming up into the chute. And he spins coming to turn 6. Naquib picks out the position. That was a lucky save there from Alessandro. And unfortunately, despite that save, he's dropped now to P9. And that car is looking rather squirrely. That's, I think, suspension damage. He's going to have to retire the car.
There he is just in the grey. Nabil, Naquib and Inigo Anton in a procession behind them. Let's just have a look to see if Inigo is able to get close. It's going to be difficult for him. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Nurshaz Lizan 5 seconds adrift of them. But this looks like a procession for Josh Perwin. He has led from the start. He is going to come through and take his second victory of the season. Josh Perwin from Australia takes the victory by a second clear of Masvilton. Naquib in 3, Nabil in 4, Inigo Anton finishes. So a race 2 victory for Josh Perwin, but in the overall championship standings, these are the top 3. You've got the Azlan brothers from Shah Alam in Malaysia, Naquib leading the way from Nabil. Inigo Anton, the best of the rest. Do not count out Inigo Anton, very, very talented racer. As we look onto the top 10 below them, Josh Perwin, you saw race number 2. Mohammed Tasbi, the understated Singaporean in P5. Russell Reyes, who had a great start to the season in 6. Ottaviani from Italy in 7. Ayman Hakim Tadashi had a quiet season by his standards. Ayman Hazik and Brody Steen completing the top 10. In the Nations Cup, which we do over the 4 categories, Malaysia have a whopping lead of best part of over 250 points ahead of the Philippines, to themselves 60 points clear of Singapore in P3. Australia, the only other team in 3 figures. And the Teams Cup, Stratos Motorsports, based out in Malaysia, 426 points ahead of Blue Steel Racing, FSA Racing, Sim Racing Filipinas with 192 points, and the Academy. Anybody over 100 points deserves a big tip of the cap. Big tip of the cap also to our sponsors. Our thanks to Royal Selangor, to Casio for the official timing, and to X-Parks as well. Very subtle, Alex. I like that one. Yeah. And so on to the racing itself. And we're on board here with Naquib Azlan. He has been outstanding. Despite not winning race 2 last week, only coming 4th, an outstanding season.
Yeah, you know, he finished runner-ups, I think, 3 times in Global, and then he won Global Edition 5, didn't he? By a very small margin, you have to say, and now in Global Edition 6 he seems to have reached a different level now, and he's been dominating this championship. This is the first time of the 6 editions that we've had a championship being dominated so much by one driver.
Indeed. Join us on Facebook as well. For those who are joining us live, you can make comments on Facebook. It's nice to get your thoughts and comments, and the drivers certainly appreciate it. We're around the Mategi circuit, which is a cracking little circuit, particularly the steep curve down at the end after corner 10 into 11. What's your thoughts of taking us around the twin ring Mategi, Alex?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You can see it's called twin ring because there are 2 tracks. One is the oval in the thicker line, and of course the road track, which goes under the oval twice after turn 5, and then towards the end of the lap after turn 11 you go back under the oval. I've raced there. It's a great track to drive. We don't do oval racing there anymore because it was damaged in the earthquake of I think 2011 2012, but the road track still gets used a lot. Very much a hard braking track. It's tough on the brakes, and it is a track that promotes good racing.
Let's have a circuit around it. We've got Harry Zephi, who's given us a flying lap around the twin ring Mategi.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Harry Zephi Shami. We'll take you on a 1-lap tour around twin ring Mategi. A stop and go layout of distance of 4.8 kilometers located in Tochigi, Japan, which is a racing venue for Super GT, Super Formula, Super TyQ, IndyCar, NASCAR, and of course MotoGP. Here we are, driving to the final quarter and heading straight on the main straight for start and finish line. Here we go, the turn 1 of 45R on the double right on the right, long right hand corner, hairpin, gently get back in the power slowly for the turn 2 exit. Then we go to the turn 3 of a 30R corner. So must braking before 100-meter corner. Get braking gently, slowly get back in the power for turn 4 of 70R corner. Then get back on the third straight, smoothly get back full throttle power on here. Then brake on a 100-meter board or for the short sharp corner on the right hand side for turn 5. Get to the first entry and the bridge. Then flat out to the 130R corner. Then the next section will be the S-curve section. Get a good rhythm of this section so that it will shorten your lap time. Get back power smoothly and then go tackle on the short V corner, which is also the overtaking spot. Get back smoothly on the power onto the short straight. There we go on the slowest corner oval, which is the hairpin. Gently back on power for the back of downhill straight, and it's time for full throttle and sudden down elevation of 30 meters. So we go brake on 150-meter board to get to the 90-degree sharp corner after the downhill straight, passing through the second bridge, and then through the last section, which is called victory corner. Sudden left, sudden right corner, get the good apex and good exit. Gently put back power and get back to the main straight finish line, and there you go, a 1-lap tour in Swimming Motegi. We'll see you guys later on the Swimming Motegi. Motegi de mata
Great stuff. Haris Effie will be on the starting grid. Actually, in qualification, where qualification has started, it's a 6-minute qualification series and a 30-minute race, Alex, with increased points. Just to mix things up. You don't like making it easy for the guys, do you?
No, we normally do the 2 sprint races with the second race as a reserve grid, but we always have it in our regs that we can change the format. And that's what we've done today. It's a 30-minute race. Ooh, we're on board with... We're on board with Alessandro Ottaviani, and he's gone purple in Sector 1. So it's a 30-minute race with 1 pit stop where you have to change a minimum of 2 tyres. But yeah, on the Italian right now, looking good as we go through these next few corners. Purple in Sector 1, but he's got a real tough fight against Naquib Azlan. Naquib Azlan will be fighting for pole position as well. Ottaviani, who's based out of Italy, the ping is a bit high. He's gone purple in Sector 2 as well, so he's quicker again. But yeah, with the extra ping, it will be a bit difficult for him. You will see the car lagging a little bit as it goes across, but he will feel the driving. When he's driving by himself, he should be fine.
As he comes over the brow of the hill, as you can see, a very, very quick first 2 sectors. Then how late can you leave the braking coming into this right-hand corner? You've just got to cope with the G-force. I can imagine the G-forces in real life, Alex. This must be a terrifically difficult corner to control yourself on.
And it's a terrifically difficult car to drive. You've got so much horsepower, and you know, in these days you have to drive with one wheel with one hand because you need the other hand to change the gear stick.
Oh, he's 7/10 down.
Wow.
P4 for him. Nabil Azlan is the man who is in P1 at the moment. So the man second place in the overall championship standings. The unknown brother, actually there's 3 of them, so the lesser known brother, but Nabil Azlan has just posted a 1:38.329, Alex.
Yeah, and he's restarting his lap, so you try and improve that, and you have to, because look at that, Tasbi and the brother Naquib, all within 2:10, so it's going to be very close indeed. Maybe we should follow Tasbi for a lap, see if he can steal pole position.
Here is Mohammed Tasbi, Team Flash out of Singapore. Everyone, of course, on soft compound tyres. Now his fastest lap so far, a 1:38.423. Is he going to improve on that, or is this him just starting? This is him starting his fast lap, isn't it, Alex? Do you want to talk us through?
Yeah, let's talk it through. Through turns 1 and turn 2, you've got to double apex it like that. Treat it like one long corner instead of 2 corners. Then this long straight. Oh, he's restarting. He didn't like turn 1 and 2, so he's restarting. Has he got enough time to restart? Yes, he does. So this will be his last chance to try and take pole position.
So Mohammed Tasbi, currently in the championship standings in 5th place. At the moment, Naquib Azlan is waltzing away with things. He's got a 36-point lead over his brother Nabil, who's 10 points clear of Inigo Anton. There is a round that you must drop, or can drop, no, must drop, before you go into round 5. So Tasby is looking to get a top 3 end of season place, Alex. And
Yeah.
he's understated, but more than capable.
Yeah, he is. I mean, when he's blinding, he's blindingly quick. Much better exit out of turn 2 just now. A lot cleaner through turns 3 and 4 as well. So this looks like a better lap. It's not green though. He's just outside of pole right now as he goes through sector 1. But that's it. He's done.
I think maybe we focus on Inigo Anton, 3rd in the overall championship standings. Hello, ma'am. Karen is always looking, always wishing her son the best, and Inigo, resplendent in pink, starts this lap, currently in P3. Is he going to improve it? The answer no, but I think he's just on the start of another flying lap, and he's just got enough time, Alex. Again, let's stick with Inigo to see if he can improve on what is P4 at the moment.
Yeah, let's watch this then. This is a very tricky car to drive. We saw Tasby just struggling with the oversteer on the exit. It is tough to drive like it should be. Very old school car. Comes to turn 4. Looks really neat. This looks a lot better by Inigo. Or shall we say, looks good enough that, yeah, that is. It's green sector, so this is his best first sector so far. Although he's still 2/10 down on the pole lap.
Who is Naquib Azlan?
Naquib's gone pole, has he?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Just though. Oh, no, by a lot. 6/10. Wow. Anyway, Inigo going through now through his turns 7 and 8. Looks nice and neat. Got to be careful. They can't be too impatient with the throttle. For turn 9. Looks very smooth though. Inigo, I like watching Inigo because he's a very smooth driver.
But he's a long way down, Alex. He's 3/10 down
now.
through sector 2. But Naquib was so quick. This might still be enough for him to get onto the first row of the grid.
Yeah. Half a second down right now. If he can nail this last sector, he can maybe. He's definitely got a chance for the second row of the grid. Now braking for turn 11. Looks good. Maybe a bit too good. What do you think? Maybe. I think you've got to wring the neck of this car a little bit.
Well, he's still in there. Ottaviani's put in a fast lap, a 1:38.159. Let's see if Inigo Anton is able to get up onto the second row of the grid. He will complete this lap. That scorecard you're seeing in front of you is not complete. It will be now, and Inigo has not been able to improve his P5. So, third row of the grid, Tasby alongside Nabil on the second row of the grid, and the superstar Naquib Azlan, who can effectively tie up the title today if he picks up maximum points. He's started superbly. 5 points for pole. Alessandro Ottaviani, 4 for the Italian. And I think, Alex, you think the Italian might be quicker on Mattei?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've said that before, but he had an issue in the last race where they changed his wheel and he couldn't use his normal wheel. So I hope he's got his proper wheel back for this one because he's going to need everything he can get to try and beat Naquib.
It's a 30-minute race. They're in the Group C cars, which are fun to commentate on and difficult to handle, which makes it even more fun. All we need is a bit of rain, Alex. Why don't you throw in some tax on the track as well, just to make it doubly impossible?
Yeah.
But we're at the Twin Ring Mategi, and it's one single 30-minute race where you must make a pit stop.
Yes, exactly. You must make a pit stop and you must change 2 tyres at least. Some might try and change 4 tyres because the grip will be better. Don't forget tyre wears times 4. So the guys who just change 2 tyres, although you might save 5 seconds in the pit stop, you might run out of tyres by the end of the race.
Naquib Azlan will be on pole position. Amo Hazik joins us for the commentary. Amo, welcome on board. Really impressive work from Naquib Azlan. Why don't you start the race for us?
Okay, thanks Alex. Right then. Red light's on the gantry, though we can't see it, but you can see on the graphic there. When they go out, it's going to be green, and we're underway here for the Gold Class race with the Group C cars. Despite a thin grid, we will expect a great race, and we're underway. Naquib gets a good start of the line, and he's going to get the whole shot with his brother, as per usual in this season so far, tucking into second. The Azlan brothers have gotten off to a great start.
It really is. Naquib is almost faultless. Poor old Hamishami, who was way down, he gets a slow down penalty, but Nabil and Naquib leading the way. Inigo Anton off quickly, but a slow start for Ottaviani. Ottaviani already down in P6 ammo. I think we were expecting better from that.
Yeah, and the fact that he was starting at the sharp end of the grid, we were expecting to be challenging. He got swamped there by both Reyes and Tasbe. Maybe he's just getting a slow start. He's just trying to sell himself to the race. so far at least, it's just only the first lap. We still got plenty more to go.
Certainly is, but Naquib Azlan has established in the red a half a second lead over his brother Nabil. Now Nabil's got championship points to go for, and we mentioned it, we can't not mention it, they've had history before, but Nabil has almost been like a sentry on occasions this time for his brother.
Yeah, but also the fact that I think I'll refrain from using that particular incident from now on, because if I mention it anymore, they're going to put a restraining order on me, so there's that.
Not only for that reason, Amo, not only for that reason.
But yeah, you're right, Des. He's been pretty much his defender for the last couple of rounds, so Nabil's really doing favors right now for Naquib's chances of retaining a title. But Nabil also wants to put it on his stake to actually get to the crown. So right now he might be looking to defend him, but pretty sure when he gets the chance, he'll try to attack him.
It's a very neat and tidy first lap from Naquib Azlan. Starting on pole position, he will end lap number 1 in first position ahead of Nabil Azlan. Inigo Anton in P3 for the Philippines. He looks back on Mohamed Tasbi. And behind them you've got Russell Reyes. Otto Viani is still in P6 and isn't making any real headway on the drives ahead of him. But Inigo Anton, a nice clean first lap from him, Amo.
Indeed, there's in fact that a nice clean lap for the top 3. In fact, they're running in exactly the championship order they are right now, first, second and third.
As for this circuit at Motegi, I mean that obviously that right-hander corner 11 at the bottom of the hill, that's spectacular. What are the main difficult areas on this circuit as far as a driver is concerned?
I think what Alex has mentioned before is that braking is quite hard here, regardless of what car, because it's such a long back straight. It goes downhill. All the weight's at the front of the car, so a lot of pressure there. You can easily lock it up if you actually are not careful. So trying to overtake and brake is a different matter altogether. So that, for me, is one of the most difficult corners on the entire track, because you just have to get it right on the braking zone. Otherwise, you're off into the sandpit.
Early stages of eRacing GP's 302nd race. It's season 6, but it's round 4 of 5 of this season's Gold Edition. Naquib Azlan still leading the way. He's the championship leader, the man in red and white. Now then, he's on medium compound tyres. Everybody's on medium amongst the leading racers, apart from Alessandro Ottaviani, who's taken hard compound ammo. Let's just go on to Ottaviani. Your thoughts on his choice of hard compound?
And I think that choice of tyre there is the reason why he's gotten off to a slow start. The hard tyre obviously is going to be way slower than the medium, so he's thinking to go long here. Well, of course, we've seen throughout the race already 30 minutes of it in the previous silver class that went all the way to the last corner. It's a matter of fact that you have to manage your tyres properly, and in this case, Ottaviani can have a choice of softs maybe towards the end so that he can be much faster. We saw Jan, for example, he had a option for this. Okay, they ran the same tyre, but his tyres were much fresher, and that's why he could overtake Junchenko to win.
So an interesting tactical moment as a little bit of a problem there, a little bit of a wobble for Ottaviani, but the Italian running in P6 at the moment, running his own race. He's got Jin Masvilton for company, and Masvilton is again one of those understated Singaporeans, always in the shadow of Alif Hamilton, who's not racing this season in eRGP. Alif, a 3-time champion, but Masvilton's a more than capable racer as well, Amo.
Indeed, there's, and the fact that understated may be the best word to describe it, because he is fast, but not that spectacularly fast compared to Alif and indeed his other cousin, which is Tasbi. He just does the job, and when he gets there, you know that, oh, that guy's really fast. That's how he gets there. He's just like really under the radar type of guy. But at the moment, at least, this particular season has not gone well for him at all. The retirement in Brno still sticks out. Like how the car just stopped there is just disaster for him, despite being on the front row.
It certainly was. Masvilton currently in P7. His Singaporean fellow Singaporean Mohamed Tasbi from Team Flash, he's in P4 at the moment, feeling the pressure from Philippines Russell Reyes. There's Tasbi, Russell Reyes behind him. Now Russell, Amo, we'll talk about him in a moment, but Tasbi understated again. It's like Masvilton. It's almost exactly the same comment I'm asking of you.
Yeah, it is. They're both kind of like, it runs in the family. They're fast, but it's like Alif, he's spectacularly fast. These guys are just fast, but very much under the radar. They just don't mind about their own business and bang in the results. And right now, at least, he's on the cusp of a podium here, and that will do his chances of finishing the top 5 a world of good.
We've had 5 of the 30-minute race. Naquib Azlan is still the man who has the lead, the man in red. And what he's done, he's taken 0.8 of a second over his brother Nabil, but 1.6 seconds over Inigo Anton, lapping regularly 140s. Just metronomic stuff from Naquib Azlan. And
also from Nabil, to be honest, that's because they're both really just lapping quite fast. Why happened to Vianney? Oh, that's it. That's his strategy. That's run out the window. What could have been an interesting end to the race. So another disastrous weekend for Alessandro
Ottaviani. I'm wondering whether he just lost his connectivity. We'll try and discover that, but that just makes one less problem for Naquib Azlan as he strides towards a potential back-to-back championship as he comes over the brow of the hill. What a glorious sight that is. That's a fun circuit to drive, this, Ammo.
Absolutely, Des. Fun to watch, fun to see. But it's just that it's a real shame that these cars never really got to see the Motegi circuit because the Group C actually just fizzled out by the end of 1994 anyway. And this circuit was created in 1997. So we never really got to see these guys race apart from, say, like historic events. So yes, right, quite nice to see that we get to see it at least virtually.
Again, fantastic background information from Amo Hazik. How about his namesake, Ayman Hazik, fellow Malaysian, Blue Steel Racing, P7 at the moment, leading Naquib Azlan. Ayman a little bit off the pace. He also on medium compound. Only Hamdani and Francis Angelo Gonzalez on hard, and Ottaviani, of course, who's out the race. But Ayman would want to be a little bit closer to the top 6, Amo.
Yeah, he would love to be up there right now, but in this particular season, it just seems to be that he's just been off the pace. In fact, both Aymans have. It's just that they've not really dealt with the car. Probably not enough practice time because there's so many other races to do, you know, in particular for the Blue Steel team. But nonetheless, competitively in the midfield, just not enough to break it into that top 6 at the moment.
Just need to mention there's actually 3 of the Azlan brothers. Naquib Azlan is racing in P8. He is very much in the shadow of his brothers. And Adrina Ishak on Facebook, go get him, Azlan, she says. And I think she's including Naquib as well as Naquib and Nabil in that. But it is quite remarkable to get the 3 brothers involved. Let's see who else is there. Harris Zephi, who had a lap of the circuit for us. He's down in P11, Ammo. Looks like he's struggling just a wee bit.
Yeah, it's been like a pattern of the season so far. It's not come together at all. In fact, for him, luckily, it's not going to be a repeat of the race 2 curse that he's been having. Remember, he started on pole in Brno. He got whacked out before he reached turn 1. He was leading the race at Brno. First one at Salisbury. Second one Brno. He was leading and then whacked into the barriers at the last corner. So it's not been actually pieced together. In this case, right now, he's just in the midfield, in the mid-pack. So points for him, unfortunately nowhere near the higher points that we would have wanted.
Just enjoying the Motegi countryside as Brody Steen gets a slow-down penalty. But Naquib Azlan, his lead, Ammo, is now up to 1.3 seconds. And we haven't been focused on him because he doesn't look like he's making a mistake. He doesn't look under any pressure.
Yeah, it's a bit rare to find any mistakes that is made by Naquib at least. You're going to have to force an error for him to make that. Right now, in this car and track combination, he's just looking extremely well. In fact, this car combination and the entire season have been doing so well for him. It's just that it's very spectacularly fast. We don't really have to put any more superlatives on it. It's just that he's doing the job that he needs to.
I know Alex was hoping that the cars would be a little bit more difficult for the drivers to deal with, but Naquib, it's almost like he's an old school driver in his own right.
Indeed, and the fact that he just gelled well with this Group C prototypes. Yes, the Nissan is a bit more of a handful to drive, but even from round 1, where most of the other top drivers kept spinning, he's the one that kept pointing the car forwards. It's almost amazing that he got it dialed in quickly.
Well, plenty can happen in the remaining 20 minutes as Nabil comes over the brow of the hill. The battle for P3 is the real interest here, where Inigo Anton in the pink is leading Mohamed Tasbi in the yellow, and Russell Reyes from Philippines, he's having a little look on the outside as well. That's the battle for P3 now. Mohamed Tasbi, Reyes has got the better of Mohamed Tasbi, and Reyes has got himself up into P4, Ammo.
Now this is interesting, Des, because this is between the battle of the Filipinos. It's going to be whether or not who wants to have the bragging rights of the best Filipino driver in this class right now. We used to say it was Luis Moreno. Moreno has not been in the races in the past couple of seasons. That title of Pride of the Philippines might be taken for this particular season. At the moment it's being won by Inigo Anton, but Reyes probably wants to say in that. And right now, third and fourth between these two Filipinos might be very tasty indeed.
Well, Reyes just losing the line a little bit there under pressure from Tasby. That hard-earned overtaking manoeuvre. He may well have lost that place back, and that's really good from Tasby. Reyes started the season so well with podiums in both races in Salzburg. No points in Bruno. He picked up a P5 of Watkins Glen. So he needs to get back into form because he can't afford to have more drop points if he wants a top 3 place at the end of the season.
Indeed, and for Reyes as well, because missing that one race also puts a bit of a detriment to his chances of that. He needs to have good scoring races from here on out, because otherwise that one race deficit that he lost may just be his actual detriment.
Just to confirm, it's 40 points for the victory today. It's a longer race. There is no reverse grid race. So 40 points for P1, 32 for P2, 26, 23, 17, 15, 13 and 11. Right the way down to P15 you can pick up points. So there are good points available. But at the moment, Naquib Azlan, 5 points for qualification and currently a 1.6 second lead. This could effectively be the title.
Indeed. And Nabil has no say in it whatsoever right now. He was close about 0.8 of a second. Now it's 1.6 seconds. So Naquib has stretched out the gap slightly, ever so slightly away from his brother. And there's nothing that Nabil could do about it, apart from just hoping that his brother will make a mistake. There's Nabil in the inset. Looks very serene and calm, but deep inside, he is actually really focused.
He looks really serene, really calm, and I'm not sure there's a heartbeat there. That's how calm he's looking. But you're telling me the brain is working overtime.
Yes, for sure. Because one lapse of concentration is enough to actually lose the car. As we saw, like for example, Josh Poe in round 1, just a bit of a slight over application of the loud pedal, and it was enough for him to spin it around. So that's the kind of thing that he should watch out for. He cannot lose focus for a single second.
It's a bit of fun. Oh, as Harris Zephy comes in. Now then, is Harris the very, very first of the guys making the pit stops? If it is, it's a little bit early. Or is it? Is this a gamble worth taking? Maybe you put on softer compound tyres if they'd last that long?
I think he's going to go on mediums because it's well before the halfway point of the race. It's a bit too early right now, you know. So he's going to struggle towards the end when the tyre wear is reaching its peak. In fact, look at that. He stayed on the medium tyres. So he's gone for the conservative strategy. But unfortunately, it's a bit too early.
Now, there's a problem. Adrian Ferguson was also in the pits as well. We've not given Adrian any TLC. He's on the medium compound as well. He was trailing in P14 in the distinctive yellow Stratos Motorsports. But as he comes round, you can see that Naquib Azlan is close to lapping Adrian Ferguson. Ottaviani is out of the race. I'm afraid his ping has seen him ejected from the race, which is tough because we love to see the Europeans involved in eRGP. But Naquib, within half of this race ammo, is close to lapping Adrian Ferguson.
That was because Ferguson was well behind already anyway, so the pit stop was just gonna add to more misery for him. Now, is he gonna get lapped? Looks likely, to be honest. That's because Naquib's really lapping quite fast right now. He could easily just put Ferguson being the only driver a lap down, and possibly Harris as well if he was to not be careful.
The only problem with this, as far as we're concerned, is Naquib is too good for the rest of the pack. Nabil Azlan, currently in P2. He's the man in pink. Inigo Anton, fellow man in pink, in the Nissan in P3. Mohammed Tasby in P4. We're wondering what the strategy will be in terms of tyre compounds and how late maybe the pit changes may be. If you were up there, Amo, what would you be going? 16 or 17 minutes and then maybe go on to soft compound?
I think past the 16-17 minutes, to be honest, because I want to have really good fresher tyres towards the end. Or, you know, like follow the other guys, mirror the strategy even. But ideally, you want to have fresher tyres. So for me personally, I will pit slightly later, but not too late. Maybe just one lap later than the rest of them if they enter first.
Tasby in P3. Russell Reyes has been dropped a little bit, down in P5 at the moment, ahead of Jin Masvilton. It's a rare procession. We're not used to seeing that in eRGP. We're used to seeing Naquib at the front, but the rest is normally really, really competitive. Not so much today as Inigo picks up a slowdown penalty. Into the pits goes Russell Reyes.
And Tasby as well, I think, because he got that cut penalty because he was cutting the bit of grass. There we go. In fact, all of them are coming in, except for... No, actually, Naquib is actually coming as well. So everybody in now at the halfway point, just as we expected.
So, out on the circuit, it means, I think, Jimas Vilton's coming in. Ayman Hazik is coming in. Brody Steen, I suspect, he's coming in. So, who's left out on the track? I'm desperately... There you go, there's Ayman Hakim Tadashi. Of course, Ayman Hakim. He won't do anything by the book, Ayman Hakim. He is out on the circuit, and I think if he comes round, he will actually go into the race lead. Will he?
No, he's way too far behind, but you know what's interesting? Tasby got a drive-through penalty for cutting the track. So, that's disastrous then. If he wanted to chase up for podium position, he's going to be out of it by the end of the race. Look at that, there we go. Speedy in the pit lane.
Oh, there is Mohammed Tasby, drive-through penalty. It doesn't look like he's feeling the pressure, but that is a mistake. And, well, I suppose at this level of racing, Ammo, a mistake you shouldn't be making.
Right, Des. It's like, you know, we're almost expected to abide by the speed rules, even in, you know, these kind of races. It's just almost natural. It's a second nature to us. Then, what happened to Tasby? It looked like he stood for a second. But anyhow, that kind of thing is kind of like a bit of a rookie error. Probably Tasby got distracted by other drivers that were either in front or behind him that forced him to put on the speed limiter quite late. But whatever the reason, it's really put a dent in his race, and that's chances of a podium completely gone.
In P1, that lead is just growing and growing and growing. He was on pole position. He was first into the first corner. He's had a competent pit stop. He's leading by over 2.5 seconds. It's the Azlan, the battle of the Azlans. Naquib, not so much of a battle. He's telling little brother, hey, I'm the boss of this little group.
Yeah, putting everyone, including his brother, to the sword here right now. But 2.5 seconds, you never know. We've had races in the previous classes being this far, only to end up like the leader actually spinning on the last lap and the guy in second place winning. So it can still happen, as we see Francis Angelo Gonzalez gets trying limit to use penalties. But anyhow, it can still happen to Naquib. You never know.
Yeah, I suppose with tyres at times 4, I think the tyres are, aren't they? Nobody's gambled on soft compound. Nobody.
No, that would be almost borderline suicide. Unless, of course, guys like Ottaviani were planning to extend that hard tyre stint and go soft towards the end. But I think soft may be a bridge too far. In fact, we go back to Ottaviani. That's a sad side, isn't it? Nissan in the pit lane, and the driver is not out on track.
14 races out on the circuit at the moment. At the tail end, Francis Angelo Gonzalez, one of the many Filipinos. He's probably just putting a taster into the gold class, because it is a step up. He's good at silver, but when you go head to head with these gold class boys, it is a step up in quality, Ammo, as you can testify.
Yeah, indeed, Des. For me personally, to only get one win out of this class shows how it was actually very difficult to race against these guys. It is like the best of the best around this region to get together. And Francis, for him to come back after a bit of a sabbatical, about I think 3 weeks at least, out of sim racing, back here, it's nice to see. He's not about high up where he wants us to be, but at least it's a good return for him to be in the points.
Naquib Azlan still leading the way comfortably. That lead is growing. It is now 3 seconds over his brother Nabil. Tell you what, Matege, I was expecting it to be a lot more racing, but Naquib has just stretched this whole group out, and the 30-minuter is meant to be a real opportunity, and the pit stops are meant to bring us close racing. It's not really worked out, but that is just testimony to the quality of Naquib, Nabil and Inigo Anton to break the rest of this field.
That does, and also the fact that in this period of time, towards the end of the life cycle of Group C, by this point in 1992, the racing was a bit more sprint based. It wasn't really about endurance. If it's endurance, then the drivers will take it a bit easier, not too far out. These guys are actually pushing it towards the end because it's a bit more sprints. So the reason why the Group C formula died is because that the engines got too expensive, the cars were just not really up to scratch, and they were at one point even considered to be sold off to collector's items for scrap. It's just that these kind of cars were, towards the end of it, not really fun to drive anymore, which is quite a shame, because normally when you see at Le Mans, the racing is absolutely fantastic with these cars.
You mentioned Mohammed Tasby earlier on. He's done his drive-through penalty. It's relegated him down to P9. He's got Ayman Hakim, Tadashi and Naquib Azlan ahead of him, so he'll be looking to pick up as many points as he possibly can. Tasby currently in P5 in the championship standings. Josh Berwin is not here today, so Josh won't pick up any points for today. Race 2 winner last week. So Tasby needs as much as he can to take advantage, and the first thing he needs to do in the remaining 9.5 minutes is get past Ayman Hakim Tadashi.
Easier said than done because Ayman is known to be quite aggressive on his blocking. And hearing from feedback, for example, the likes of Alif, very, very harsh to put it lightly, the way that Ayman blocks. So it's going to be hard for Tasbih to get by here unless he can try to outfox him somewhere on the course. And for Ayman to be in the lone Porsche, that's quite a statement here. He wants to actually put this guy as high up as he could.
Certainly does. Well, we'll just stick on board here just to see how aggressive Ayman is in his defence as they come around this 90-degree corners. It's just how brave you can be in leaving your braking very, very late. And as they come round, they will finish their lap number 13. Unlucky for some, Tasbih, this might be the opportunity for him just to get in the slipstream and pull out on this longish home straight. But Tadashi is not going to give way too easily, exactly as you suggested, Amo.
Yeah, but this conversely to what I would say that they're aggressive, but note the fact that he does defend aggressively well, like this. Normally in touring cars, and he'll go door handle to door handle. He wouldn't hesitate to do that. That's very, very good defending from Ayman. Holds the inside line, and again, stalls Tasbih's momentum slightly. Tasbih will be quite annoyed about getting that drive-through penalty now, to be honest.
Really frustrating for Mohammed Tasbih. We're focusing on this little battle for P8, largely because Naquib is running away with this. He's keeping Nabil Azlan at arm's length. Inigo Anton isn't making any headway on Nabil, and Russell Reyes isn't making any headway on Inigo Anton. So this is the battle that we're really interested in, just to see if Mohammed Tasbih in this next lap or so can make a move on Ayman Hakim and then maybe get into Nasri as again Tadashi blocks off beautifully.
Yeah, and that was a really late lunge there from Tasbih. He really wanted to go to the inside. Now look at that. That's the defense that Ayman Hakim can pull off. Onto the inside of the road, goes a bit slightly to the middle and goes back to the racing line. That's fair actually because he only blocked it one time, but he actually gets a poor exit coming out of turn 10 as they now go into the downhill straight. Porsche a bit slightly faster on the straight this time, which is quite surprising because we saw the Salzburg ring. It was the Nissan that's faster, going left and right there. That's fair for Tasbih because he can go any way he wants. Ayman has to stay in one position, and Ayman does that and still manages to hold Tasbih at bay.
You can almost see the steam coming out of Tasbih's ears because he is just so frustrated by the excellent defensive work of Ayman Hakim. But this time Tasbih gets alongside. Can he hold on? Ayman Hakim, as you say, aggressively tries to hold on, but eventually after 2 laps hard work, Tasbih gets ahead of Ayman Hakim Tadashi and moves into P8.
Well, there you go. There's door handle to door handle almost. In fact, but these guys don't have door handles, they have levers. But besides that, it's actually just door to door defending. And to Ayman's credit, he held on quite well for only a couple laps, but you can see the quality of the Nissan there, way faster than his Porsche. It's just quite a shame to see. It almost becomes a one-mix series right now in this class.
We've got a second casualty, I'm afraid. Francis Angelo Gonzalez, his race is done. He will not pick up any points from this. Naquib Azlan, barring a catastrophe, will pick up. He's extended his lead to a race high 3 seconds and has been faultless. Maybe we ought to go on board. It's almost a flying lap with Naquib, Amo, and you can talk us through the lap and just see how neat and tidy and spot on Naquib Azlan is around the Motegi Twin Ring.
Okay, here we go then, on to the start finish straight. Past the gantry that says Twin Ring Motegi. Note the fact that there's an oval around the outside that was used for IndyCar racing. Not anymore, at least at 2011. Turn 1, apparently this is actually just one turn. Easy to lose it on the exit there. We saw some drivers losing it in multiple classes up to silver, but in this case none in the gold class. Coming out to turn 2 and 3, yes, this is actually apparently 2 corners in one compared to turn 1. Just pretty much a mirror of turn 1, except the fact that you get out much faster here because it's a bit of an incline coming out to turn 4. Turn 4, another overtaking spot like the first 2 corners. Except this particular case, you just have to be more smooth because again, that inside curve can easily spin you out. Now we're coming up to the last couple of sectors, after which we went through the tunnel where you can see the oval there. That's about, I think around turn 3 and 4 when I'm thinking, because the oval goes the opposite direction. Through turn 5 and 6.
7 and 8.
So sorry, 7 and 8, the S curve. And then up to the V curve, turn 9. Another overtaking spot for MotoGP. Cars, you can almost see it sometimes, but you really have to lunge it on the inside. Here we saw a few overtaking maneuvers, most notably in the silver class, where it nearly happened for the lead, but it had to go all the way to the turn 11, up to turn 11, which is the 90-degree corner. That was the hairpin, where Valentino Rossi famously crashed out in 2016 while trying to chase for the lead. Then turn 11 here. This is where Aleix Espargaro had his massive moment where he had to jump on the bike because of brake failure. No such thing for the cars because they can easily brake harder than the bikes without having to worry about the brakes anyway. Then coming up to the turn 13, 14, 12, 13 and 14 complex called Victory Corner, and it's apparently why they call it Victory Corner because if you're the leader, you're on your way to the checkered flag, and this is exactly what Naquib is doing right now. He's only about 4 minutes away from potentially clinching the title.
Terrific talking around the circuit. We call him the Anorak Ammo because his knowledge of what's happened, where and when is beyond even Alex Young's comprehension. Fabulous commentary around that lap, Ammo, but also a fabulous lap by Naquib. How about his brother Nabil? Not feeling any real pressure. Nabil is in P2. And he's got a 7-second lead, Nabil. Naquib disappears from our screen, and Nabil, I'm sure, will pop up fairly soon. Now, there is Nabil. Looking good, looking imperious, looking very good. It's perhaps easy to underestimate Nabil Azlan's skills, Ammo, because his brother's been so dominant.
Yeah, we can almost put him like almost underneath the understatement category, suffice to say. He's also one of those drivers that just like unspectacularly fast, but when he does the business, he's just like, it catches you actually. It catches your eye. And in this case now, in this season, he's really improved quite a lot. We can really see him that he could challenge his brother, not close on pace at least, but for the championship, he's really pushing all the way. As we see, that's not Jim Esbilton, isn't it? No, that's Adrian Ferguson. So that's Ferguson lapped as we kind of come to expect because he was really close to where Naquib was. But anyhow, Nabil has actually really blossomed this season, suffice to say, as a driver. He really can take it to his brother. Maybe not close to where his brother's levels yet, but for sure, in a few seasons' time, we can really see him get really as close as possible to his brother. Even challenge for a championship, who knows?
Yeah, how about Inigo Anton? He's being consistent. Inigo this season has had a P2 on a couple of occasions, a P4 on a couple of occasions. We've seen impressive improvements from Inigo, but it's a high level you've got to achieve to get it to the top of this table.
Agreed. But the only thing he has to work on right now is those race 2 consistencies. He's got a second place in that very first race at the Salisbury, where he finished second. Fourth in the first race at Brno, and second again last time at Watkins Glen. So you can see that race 1, he shines. Race 2 is where it's been his Achilles heel, and that's why he's only third in the championship right now. He could well be up there near Nabil had more points been scored on the board. So I think if he works on that consistency, he could well and truly challenge Naquib next season. Who knows?
Adrian Ferguson is lapped by a third man, so Naquib, Nabil and Inigo have all gone past him, and we are on, is this the final lap? No, there's probably one more lap after this for Naquib Azlan. He has led from start to finish. That is how impressive he has been. He's overtaken Adrian Ferguson. He's got Hamdani available to overtake. That's the next little battle. We haven't really given Hamdani any attention as Naquib goes past him. Hamdani stepping up a class. He's new to ERGP. Started off the season, I believe, right the way down in the copper class, and good enough to actually compete in gold. This kid maybe has got an opportunity.
Yep, and in fact, he's the only driver to, at least by memory serves me right, to have raced in all 4 classes in one season. So talk about upgrades. It's 3 upgrades in a row. He literally just had some sort of god mode to actually get up into this level. But for now, at least, gold may be a bit of a break too far. But for the other classes, he may just be in championship contention if he competes in all of it.
Well, there is Hamdani down in P12 at the moment. But now we must stick with Naquib Azlan. This will be a victory lap. This will secure him 40 points. I think he's got the fastest lap as well. So fastest lap, 44 points. That'll put him on to 164 points. His worst round is a 38 points. So it's not the title because Nabil will pick up good points as well, but it is effectively the title barring a no-show next week in round 5.
Indeed, there's and the fact that to say 38 is his worst round, he has 2 rounds that are 38 points. So it's almost needless to say that he hasn't had a really bad weekend. In all races, he scored points. Just that second races again has been his Achilles heel as well, just like Inigo. Apart from, was it a podium? Yeah, it was actually a
podium in Brno, yes.
Yeah, Brno, yeah. So
Some Achilles heel.
I think that's a nice problem to have, to be honest. It's like your worst points still ends up being something that adds to your title chances. So for Naquib, the season could not gone any better.
Down into turn number 11, the right-hander, no mistakes once again. It's like an easy Sunday afternoon country drive for Naquib Azlan. Comes round the appropriately named victory corner. Naquib Azlan romps home for his 4th race victory of the season. Naquib, it won't be the title, but it virtually will secure it up. He gets into P1. Nabil Azlan comes through in P2. A big smile from Naquib. Inigo Anton will come home completely isolated in P3 to win that Battle of the Philippines ahead of Russell Reyes. Jinmas Vilton will get 5, Ayman Haziq 6. But please, some more comments about Naquib Azlan, some more superlatives if you have any, please, Amo.
I don't want to put any contributabilities on what he has done, but again, it's just been faultless. From start to finish, from every single race so far. That's Nabil, who turned off his AI control after the race, so he wanted to have a whack at his brother there. But again, faultless. That's all I can say about it. It's almost gonna be a big wall here to actually try and climb up and get him. He's just untouchable right now in the form that he's in.
Terrific commentary once again, Amo Haziq. Alex Young rejoins us, the architect of this series. And Alex, that was an educational lesson from Naquib.
Yeah, no, Naquib was untouchable today, like you said. Not completely, though, I have to say. I mean, Nabil, I thought, did a really good job, very consistent run. Only finished 4 seconds off the lead after a half-an-hour race, because Naquib drove very, very well. There you are, the results. Inigo Anton in 3rd, Russell Reyes in 4th, and Jinmas Vilton round out the top 5. But like you said, Naquib has just about clinched the championship now.
Well, he's got some work to do, I suppose, with the drop points. Nabil will have a mathematical chance, but it would be a major surprise. Have we got Naquib available for you to have a chat to, Alex?
Yes,
Hello.
we do. Hey, Naquib. Well, okay. Good drive there, obviously. Any issues? Take us through your race.
Yeah, first of all, with quali, I think it was a decent lap. I think I could have extracted more, but you know, always finding the perfectionist in me. But yeah, after that, race start was clean.
Yeah.
Saw Nabil coming close, and he put in a lot of pressure in that early laps. You know, so fair play to him. He drove really well, maintained the gap to him throughout the whole race, and just, you know, it's so difficult with these cars. You always have to keep your wits about yourself. So always just managing tires and just making sure I make the finish, because these cars at this track were super difficult to drive.
Yeah, I mean, were there any? I mean, the championship's almost done now. You obviously got one more round to go. But how was? Were there any issues with the tire wear and stuff for the tires getting on the limit?
Yeah, so issues with this car is just it's very temperature sensitive. So
Right.
once you light it up, you know, it starts getting really twisty through the next few corners. So it's always just keeping the temps in check, keeping the wear in check, so you're not trying to scrub it. But yeah, I think all in all, good race. Nabil drove really well as well, so fair play to him.
So, Naquib, you're close to retaining your title, but Nabil's knocked you off in the past before. That's happened. I'm assuming you're not taking anything for granted going into round 5, although unofficially your lead's 35 points.
100%. I think anything can still happen. Once you have a mathematical chance, you can still win it no matter what. You know, it's not over until it's actually over. So yeah, full focus for the next race and not taking anything for granted.
Well, I think also we're going to be doing a Format C for the last round as well, which should be quite interesting for you.
Of course.
Reverse championship positions will be nice and
Of
fun
course.
for you.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
But congratulations
So, yeah,
once again for another excellent victory.
Cool, awesome.
4th win of the season for Naquib Azlan. He's got a firm grip of the title, but Alex Young has got a devious, evil brain, and no doubt will actually penalise you for doing well next week.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have 3 formats we can choose from, and we tend to do that. We always like to do a reverse championship race for the last race, because it always puts a lot of pressure on the champion. Best driver always tends to win, but we want him to, you know, to have that pressure. And Naquib's been handling it so well, hasn't he, this year? He has really stepped up a different level. So he'll still be favourite.
Okay, that is the end of our coverage of Round 4 Global Edition Season 6. You know what? We've done over 300 races on eRGP in all the categories. Great work from Alex and the team behind the teams. Our thanks to our sponsors, Royal Selangor, Casio, and also to X-Parks. We will see you next week on eRacing GP Global Edition.